Alright guys, just saying here, back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And in today's video, we're going to be checking out the free-to-play LR Super Saiyan Goku Jr. and Super Saiyan Vegeta Jr. because these guys did just get a 200% lead with the new Dokkan Fest World Tournament Goku. So I did want to revisit them because I'm sure a lot of you probably forgot they existed. Personally, I did. They were actually a free-to-play LR for the 7th year anniversary, which I kind of wish they started doing that with anniversaries to where, like, right before it ended, they gave out a free-to-play LR to, really send the anniversary out with a bang. But unfortunately, they just did it for the 7th year anniversary. And it's good we got a free-to-play LR, I admit that, but these guys really aren't all that crazy. Unfortunately, they didn't really age that well. And I really feel like they could have given them just a little bit more because, in difficult events, these guys aren't really going to be that useful. But they do support some pretty good categories like GT Heroes and World Tournament, which I'm sure will get a lot of buffs in the future as well. So, those categories are only going to get better and better. So with that, they can have some use, but again, overall, they're just not really the craziest units. So before we get into the video, if you find yourself enjoying it at any point, feel free to like and subscribe. Also, keep in mind there are timestamps in the video, so if you want to skip around to any part, then absolutely feel free to do that. And yeah, let's get right into it. So on this opening rotation, we have a lot of support with the Pan. We got 50% support from her. And we are going to have 4 out of 7 links, so pretty good in terms of links as well. And our defense is at 226k. Alright, so, I mean, that's not horrible because it's turn 1. We haven't built up at all because these guys do build up 10% attack and defense with each attack performed up to 70%. So, of course, I mean, you build up with them, their stats will look a lot better. So, turn 1... that's not horrible, right? 226k defense. I mean, you're still dying from a lot of, difficult events. But considering we still build up, that's not horrible. We're going to get 10 key spheres right there. So with 10 key spheres, that means we're going to have access to their additional. Let me double check what it is really quick. So they get an additional attack that has a medium chance to become a super with 5 key spheres. And obviously we got 10, so we do have that. And, I mean, that would be pretty good if we got defense on our super attack effect. Because then we could triple super, obviously, assuming they got 30% defense on their super attack effect, that'd be 30% defense 3 times. And then as long as you get your super off first, they can look pretty good defensively. But unfortunately, all they do is raise attack. I mean, it is infinitely. They do stack attack on 12 and 18 key, which is pretty useful, I guess. I mean, it makes it to where their attack stats can definitely look pretty impressive. But damage isn't really all that important when your defense is reasonably low, right? So unfortunately, these guys, again, just aren't going to be that useful because, I mean, sure, you could take them in long events to where they can do good damage, but by the time you're in that final phase and they're doing good damage, their defense is going to suck. So they're just going to die, instantly, right? So not really the best design. I feel like maybe they could have made it to where, I mean, at least, they could stack attack still and then raise defense for 1 turn. If not, just stack attack and defense, or just defense. Because then, obviously, if you raise attack and defense infinitely, that's only a 20% infinite increase to attack and defense. But if they just raise defense, then it's a 30%, obviously, infinite increase to defense. Kind of weird how they handle it like that, but I know that's just how Dokkan does it. So very unfortunate they don't get any defense on their super attack effects. I think that is a very big reason just why these guys aren't all that useful, right? But I did mention they support GT Heroes and World Tournament category allies, which is very good. But it's only for 1 key and 20% attack and defense. So not really the craziest support. I mean, there's definitely better World Tournament support units out there. Look at this Krillin, right? He supports for 50% attack and defense and 3 key. And he's just insane. I mean, you already know how crazy the banner unit Krillin is, though. I won't go into that. But anyway, right here we are at... Alright, yeah, 335k defense. So that's still pretty bad, right? But that is a little bit better. I mean, we did a couple of attacks, so we built up a bit. I'll throw them in slot 1. We're going to get the guaranteed additional right here because we collected 6 key spheres. So we should be looking pretty good, at least in terms of our damage, right? Because, again, we have the additionals. We're stacking attack. Oh, well, I don't know, a little over 5 million. I mean, this animation looks cool, I guess, right? We got the crit off right there as well. So actually, yeah, our damage was pretty good on this rotation, especially because we got the triple super. But yeah, like I was saying, I mean, the animation's pretty cool. GT Kid Goku, or not Kid Goku, but Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. They don't really have that much representation in this game. I mean, they have the 2 free-to-play Easy A's, and then they have this card, and then that's it, right? So, considering they didn't really do much in the anime, I'm surprised they managed to squeeze out, what, 3 cards between the both of them. So, definitely, I guess that's somewhat of a W if you really like, you know, Goku and Vegeta Jr. Then, I mean, having them as a card is, I mean, especially in LR, is nice, but I really wish they would have just made them better. Or at least, how about this? Not giving them an easy A like a week after they came out. That would have been, like, really cool, because then we could see them easy A in the future and then become really good. But I don't know, Dokkan just has an issue where they love easy-ing units like a day after they release. But nobody likes that, so I won't complain about it. Just a weird thing Dokkan does. But yeah, their support, not really the craziest because it's only for 1 key and then 20% attack and defense. So there's just straight up better support units out there for both of those categories. But I'm for free-to-play LR, I mean, still, it's alright. I mean, you do got to keep in mind, this guy is free-to-play, right? So, I mean, of course, he's not going to be, like, insane. But still, man, he could have been a lot better. I don't want to cut this guy that much slack because this guy was a 7th year anniversary unit. So obviously that was the anniversary that introduced like 200% meta and all that. So this guy doesn't really have an excuse as to why he's not all that crazy. So alright, right here we're at 231k defense. That does really suck, but to be fair, we had our defense lowered. So, you know, he's excused for this turn. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt right here. We're going to pop Bpan's active skill and make sure I have the skip on, which I do. So his damage right here is actually going to be really good. Because we have the Bpan's active skill, we've got the support from the 50% support Pan, and of course we've gotten a lot of supers attacks. So our attack stat should be pretty solid right here. It should be, but we're going to get our defense lowered again. So, oh my god, our defense is just horrible right here. Yeah, 6.6, so that's actually not that crazy. I was kind of expecting a little bit more. Can we get the additional super? No, we can't. Alright, we've been getting really unlucky with that additional super. Or at least the one we have built in. Alright, we got the hidden potential system one on the previous turn, but of course, that's just depends on how you have it built. Oh, okay, so, okay, we got the hidden potential system additional super, but I forgot to mention, he does also have a, I think it's another additional attack that has a medium chance to become a super when there's a Goku family or Vegeta family category enemy. So, obviously, we have that here because we're facing Vegeta throughout the whole fight. But, I mean, that's not really all that crazy because every difficult event right now doesn't have a Goku family or Vegeta family category enemy. So that's not really going to benefit you that much in terms of, well, any difficult content, really. I mean, even if it's remotely difficult, that's not really going to help you that much. I mean, I guess in Infinite History and maybe in some Super Battle Road stages, in Extreme Super Battle Road stages, that could help you out. But other than that, not really too useful there. And then I guess while I'm going over everything as passive, I'll mention this as well. He does get 2 key per Rainbow Key Sphere obtained, but this guy isn't Rainbow Orb Changer or anything like that, so that's not really going to benefit him that much. Yeah, not really the craziest thing there, but I don't know, just overall, pretty disappointing. But anyway, we have a really good rotation right here. We are going to have double support, and of course we have built up a lot throughout the fight. So we're at 425k defense. Not the worst defensive stat, I'll admit. That's alright, considering, you know, we're supporting, we're continuously stacking attack, so our offense can look really impressive. But that's still dying from a lot of enemies in the game. I mean, maybe if you have type advantage, I guess you might be able to survive, like, some enemies. Yeah, okay, still 425 in slot 1, so we'll keep him in slot 1. But, I mean, I don't know. Still, that's just not really all that crazy. But for a free-to-play LR, it's definitely alright. I mean, if you're newer to the game, this guy's on some teams that'll help, I mean, help you out a lot, right? And we're at a 6.3 million attack stat. Yeah, that's alright. His damage actually isn't really looking all that crazy. Considering he stacks attack, I was expecting it to look just a little bit better. But we did get the additional super right there, so alright, pretty solid. Can we get the hidden potential system additional super? Because we're going to nuke with him next time we see him. So if we can get as many supers in before then, you know, that'd make our damage obviously just look a lot better. But alright, no additional super, or at least no triple super, but still an alright showing, right? I mean, keep in mind, how much support do we have right here? We've got, I think, 80% support, and we're at a little over 400k defense, because without the 80% support, we'd probably be at, like, what, 300k-ish defense? So, I don't know. I mean, you gotta see where I'm coming from, right? It's just not really that good. Oh my god, yeah, that was turn 9, too. So, I mean, he's definitely, probably, maybe, fully built up at this point. So, yeah, I don't know. Just a little bit more with this guy. would have made him a lot more useful, because his kit just really, it feels like a pre-Easy A kit. I feel like he still has to get his Easy A. I mean, I don't know. It's just, if you look at his kit too, you know, he only supports for like 20% attack and defense. If you just showed me the kit, I would say that that's a pre-Easy A kit, right? But I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a hater. I mean, honestly, he's a free-to-play LR, so I guess that's somewhat useful in and of itself. But all right, we are going to do the nuke test right here. I'm going to go ahead and pop a Ghost Usher because I don't want to die. And what we'll do is we'll get the 4 key spheres with the B-Pan. I want the B-Pan to get the Dokkan mode, so then we don't got to worry about, you know, all that affecting the attacks that of the Goku and Vegeta. So all right, hopefully we can get pretty lucky with key spheres. All right, how many is that? Is that 13? Yeah, we could do better than that. Let's cut back to a better rotation in terms of key spheres. All right, so we're back in the Legendary Vegeta event, and we got a much better turn in terms of key spheres. As you can see, we got a full field of AGL key spheres, so we're going to get that. We're going to pop the World Tournament Announcer item. So considering we're here we're on turn 11, we've gotten so many supers off. You know, so our attack set's going to look really crazy. We got a full field of AGL key spheres as well. We've got support from the 50% support pan in slot 1. We don't have, obviously, the B-Pan's active skill activated because we already did that. But nonetheless, still a lot of support with the pan in slot 1. So I'm still expecting a pretty crazy attack stat right here. So yeah, let's go ahead and see what this guy gets to. 17.5. All right, yeah, I mean, that's all right. That's pretty solid for free-to-play LR, you know, in a nuke test. I mean, yeah, we got additionals built in as well, so pretty all right, pretty all right. I mean, obviously the damage is like really crazy, 17 million, but you know, it's a nuke test, so you know, you kind of, I was expecting some really crazy numbers, especially because he stacks and we're here on turn 11, so we've gotten a lot of supers off. So all right, pretty good nuke test. I mean, that wasn't anything too crazy. I've seen some other free-to-play units hit some higher numbers in a nuke test than that, but that wasn't horrible by any means. So with all that shown, let's go ahead and cut to the red zone test and see how good he's performing in there. All right, so we're here fighting Super 17, a reasonably hard-hitting STR red zone boss, so I figured this would be a good showcase for them. And we got I mean, not really a good setup for them. We're going to take a lot of attacks before we super, which isn't good because we're nowhere near being fully built up. But I guess that's a common issue you're going to run into with them, is not being fully built up, because, I mean, you're getting into the, you know, the full force of these events by, like, what, turn 3, 4, once you hit, like, that second phase. So not being good enough then is still kind of the unit's issue. So yeah, 58k per normal. I mean, that definitely is a lot. I don't know. I guess maybe if they were fully built up, maybe, you know, if you have a really good situation with them where you bring support units, you're at 400k defense, they might be able to tank double digits in here, but still, you have to go out of your way to bring, like, you know, 50% support pan, who really won't work all that great in here, and some other support units who you can't really bring in these difficult events, right? Because typically, you know, those crazy support units aren't really the best defensively. So, yeah, I'm not really sure how I'm feeling about this guy, because, I mean, he is free to play, right? And, I mean, of course, free to play units are always good because everyone has access to them. But still, I'm just not really all that impressed with this guy, or these guys, I guess. They could have just been a lot better, and they definitely deserve to be a lot better because they're on some categories that definitely could use the help. I mean, World Tournament is on its way up, right? I mean, with these 2 new Dokkan Fest and all the banner units and, you know, just the free-to-play units and all that. I mean, this is going to become a good category, but still, it's not insane. So him being an LR, you know, a free-to-play LR, let alone that, on the team is definitely really good. So, I don't know. I really wish he was just a lot better because let's see what other teams he's on. So he's got Youth. Yeah, Youth is a great example. This isn't really that good right now. Youth kind of sucks. I mean, there's a couple good units on here, but Youth still, for the most part, is pretty bad. So if he was really crazy, he'd be a great addition to that. You know, Joined Forces could use some help. Hybrid Sands could use a pretty crazy free-to-play LR. And other than that, I mean, the other teams, you know, they already got good units. But, I mean, yeah, that pretty much is the red zone test. I guess we can just go ahead and cut to unit breakdown now. All right, so here we have Legends of a New Generation, Super Saiyan Goku Jr., and Super Saiyan Vegeta Jr. So starting off with our leader skill, it is GT Heroes or World Tournament category Key +3, HP attack and defense plus 120%. So I guess this is useful maybe if you're like really new to the game. You know, GT Heroes is a pretty solid category, so if you've got some like random GT Heroes Dokkan Fest, And, but you don't have like a good lead for this team. You could use them as a lead because 120% across the board to the team, again, can be pretty useful if you're like really new to the game. And then their super attack effect on their 12 key is that they raise attack infinitely, do colossal damage, and then lower defense. And then their 18 key is that they raise attack infinitely again, do mega colossal damage, and then lower attack. So I guess the lowering of attack is pretty useful. And then their passive is that they get attack and defense plus 100%. They get an additional defense plus 10% with each attack performed up to 70%. They get an additional 2 key per rainbow key sphere obtained. And then they give GT heroes or World Tournament category allies 1 key and then 20% attack and defense. And then they launch an additional attack that has a medium chance to become a super with 5 or more key spheres obtained. And then they launch an additional attack that has a medium chance to become a super when there's a Goku family or Vegeta family category enemy. I mean, yeah, I already talked about their passive a lot during the video, so I'll be pretty brief, but I've said this a couple times already. It really just feels like a pretty easy A passive. I don't know. I mean, they've got a lot of orb restrictions, but also they don't rainbow orb change or anything like that. So I don't know. It feels like they should like rainbow orb change. It feels like their support should be like a little bit more, maybe their buff start of turn should be a little bit higher as well. So again, just feels like a pretty easy A unit. But moving on to his links, it's Sand Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, the Sand Lineage, Shocking Speed, GT, Shattering the Limit, and then Legendary Power. So, I mean, credit where credit's due. This is a really good link set. He's going to link well with a lot of Sands and, of course, GT Sands as well with a link like GT. So, a really good link set. He's going to link well with a lot of top tier units. And then his categories are World Tournament, Hybrid Sands, Joined Forces, Youth, Super Sands, GT Heroes, and Warriors Raised on Earth. So, alright, that is the free-to-play LR Super Saiyan Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. Let me know what you guys are thinking of this guy down in the comments, and let me know if you think I was too harsh on him. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a free-to-play LR, so, you can't really expect that much, but still, I don't know, I feel like it could have been just a little bit better. So, alright, once again, that has been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.